Hello and welcome to the Story Kiosk, a new community podcast sharing short, true stories written by you, our listeners. I'm your host, Julian. Following the release of the table setting episode 0 a couple of weeks ago, this is the first quote-unquote proper edition of the Story Kiosk. The plan here in the podcast's early run is to publish an episode every 2 weeks, with each edition featuring a story written by one of our listeners. Anyone is welcome to contribute, whatever your age, whatever you do, wherever you're from, whether or not you've ever written anything before. We're on the lookout for short, true, sincerely felt stories. If you want to hear the full pitch, our previous episode goes into more of the details and background to this project. Or you can go to the website www.storykioskpod.com to learn more and to put forward a story for consideration. I mentioned in episode 0 that I've been speaking to some friends of mine about contributing stories to sustain the podcast here in its early going. I also said that I'd been thinking about sharing a story myself, just to show willing, basically to put my money where my mouth is. If I'm going to ask people to send in true stories from their life, it seems only fair and right that I pluck up a bit of courage and share one as well. So that's the plan of action for today, for episode 1 of the Story Kiosk. And if you're considering contributing a story to the show, don't feel at all obliged to treat what I'm about to share as a model for future submissions. This is just something that came to mind when I was thinking about what I could share from a formative period of my life, a moment that really ate away at me and still does sometimes. And I hope there's something in this, even if it's only one sentence, one image, that speaks to you, in which you can maybe hear a little echo of your own experience, or the experience of someone you know and care about. Anyway, I'm rambling. Without further ado, let's get into this story, which I've titled Calista. I was 18 years old and had it all figured out. 3 years of university studying law would be followed by a couple of years training at a firm before qualifying as a lawyer. Life, I was sure, would be like an episode of Ally McBeal, the late 90s TV show starring Calista Flockhart, my first celebrity crush. It was Freshers' Week at my university. Hovering outside a lecture hall waiting for our year group's initiation chat, I got to talking with another guy. He asked me, "So, what firm do you want to work for?" I had an answer at the ready, as did he when I asked the same, and we both grinned big, bogus smiles, overflowing with fake confidence. The doors opened and we, around 400 students all in, give or take, filtered into the hall. One of those grey, ostensibly modern lecture theatres with tiered, curving rows of seats humming down to the enormous whiteboards. I remember nothing of substance from that presentation, nor from most, if any, of the lectures I attended during my 3 years of study. But I still remember that brief conversation I had with that guy outside. I'd replay it often in my head, sitting in my dormitory. A narrow, unfussy room, more neatly appointed than a UK prison cell, but not as pleasant as a Norwegian one. I was just about following along in lectures, keeping quiet in seminars. I had, it turned out, no appetite for all the legalese and arcana, but also too little courage to change my degree. So instead, I'd attend my classes and feel like an imposter. The 399 other people on my course, I was certain, were well on their way to netting those high-paying dream jobs. In that little dorm room, I wrote applications for vacation schemes, summer internships at the big London law firms. I'd send in submissions half-heartedly, quarter-heartedly. Even if I had had better grades in my back pocket, the recruitment teams would have seen right through me. Unsurprisingly, I didn't hear back from anyone. My university was split across a few clusters of buildings in central London. Mostly I spent time in either the Waterloo campus or the main facility on the Strand, just over the bridge. I must have crossed Waterloo Bridge hundreds, if not thousands of times, in every season. Insufferably sunny summer days when the narrow pavements thronged with tourists taking photographs. In rainstorms so strong you'd be forgiven for thinking that they'd been summoned by witches. And one beautiful, shining, sable-black winter night, when the bridge was iced over and no traffic dared cross it, and me and a couple of friends could slide like skaters down the road. I wrapped up my 3 years of studying law, winged a few more applications to firms, and heard nothing from them. I was 22. I found a little flat, found an okay job, Never mind that half of what I earned went towards paying the rent and bills. It's a peculiar feeling to find that the road you expected to travel down is blocked. That what you wanted, or at least believed you wanted, or was led to believe you wanted, is no longer available. The question then is how quickly you can overcome that addictive sense of self-pity and realize that the road you thought you'd walk down isn't blocked. It wasn't ever there. But there is another road, and it's yours. And you don't know where it may lead, but you have to start walking anyway. And that's it. That's episode 1. Congratulations, team. We've ripped the band-aid off. It can only get better and less scary from here, with repetition, with practice, as this community grows. I hope you found something to enjoy in that short, true story. If you want to share one of your own, please visit our website, www.storykioskpod.com, for more info, or if you just want to chat, you can find us on Instagram. Like I said earlier, you don't need to treat this episode's story as an archetype for future stories. I was just winging it a little based on the writing prompt about a moment of self-discovery or clarity that I mentioned at the end of episode 0. But if you do want a fresh prompt for any at-home free writing sessions, just to get moving and blow away some cobwebs, try this on for size. Tell us a story about a celebrity crush, or better yet, an unexpected mentor who had a surprising impact on your life. With that, I'll just wrap up by saying thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this edition of the Story Kiosk, please follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. It really helps others find the show. And wherever in the world you are at the moment, we wish you a good morning, a good day, or a good night. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Until next time, bye everyone.